Hey guys, Dave back again, and in this video I'm going to be going over all the pieces that make up the UC or Utopia Cast XI-105. And so this might be pretty long. I don't know, maybe 15-20 minutes, I'm not sure, but I want to show you guys all the pieces laid out, separated into their sections as either in the instructions or ready to be done up. Now I still need to do cleanup on some of these, cleaning off such as that, like the tabs and stuff, but you know, when I'm looking to buy something, most of the time I will turn to YouTube, hoping that someone has uploaded a video giving me an idea of what I'm getting into before I launch into it. So without further ado, now this section here is actually the frame for the legs. As you can see on here, there's another section for the feet that will be next. So what we've got here is it's split down. One side's right leg, left leg. The frame itself is identical, so it doesn't really matter how you end up doing it. You can mix up the parts, it doesn't really matter. There are a couple pieces that go on the right and left side of each leg, but again, like I said, it doesn't really matter how you end up doing it. I will be doing a video series on as I build this up for the customer that it's being done for. If you are interested in getting one of these, contact LZ Portfolio over on Facebook, and because I believe they're doing another run come April or May, so he may be able to get one of those for you guys if you're interested. So the sections that you have here is like this. Now there are identical ones for both the shoulders and for the hips, and they put some pretty nice detail in here compared to what I've seen on the G system one. Just added details, things like that. I am really interested in seeing how this looks all together. I have the Faz coming, that should be here in a week or two, so, and that one's actually my personal, so I'm really looking forward to that. But looking at this compared to the G system kits that I've had, look real similar, except for I really like the resin that they used for the frame. Now it is a gray resin, but it is not nearly as bad as the G system. It's a little more solid, and it looks to be a high quality. The G system kits, I don't have I don't think I have any pieces of parts laying around of the frame. It has this texture to it, which if you want it smooth, you have to sand it down. This, it's actually pretty smooth. There are a few blemishes, but not nearly as bad as what you end up finding with the G system kits. Being the resin frame. The plastic frame, I don't know. I haven't gotten one of those. Though I have heard that they don't hold up to weight well and do collapse over time. So they're better because they're pre-done compared to the resin frames, but they're not as high quality as, say, a Bandai frame. So, and to be honest, most of the kits that I've gotten from G System that are the best have all been conversions that go on Bandai frames. So keep that in mind also. So you've got knees, you've got the majority of the leg part here. These are the only parts, and they actually sent, what was cool is they sent extra ones. And I'm not sure if it's because there were flaws that they saw, so they gave the person the option. Like the seam is a little offset on this set, but it's not that bad if you're used to working with resin. This one, the seam is hardly even there. There is a little flange, I guess, here, but you know, if you heat that with some warm water and stuff, it'll go right back to straight. Easy peasy on that. Alright guys, so we will cut out on this one and come back to, I think, the feet are next. Alright, so here we have the feet laid out, and keep in mind this first section is only the frame. So bearing that in mind, the interior of the foot consists of 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 parts each. Nice, clean, crisp details. The only thing that I've ended up finding was, I think on this piece here, there is a little warpage on the back part of it. But I will have to check that just to compare, but it is off from the other one. Not a big deal, but we'll have to see how that looks once it's connected into the foot and what connects to it. But again, that looks like a really simple, maybe add some putty to it. If it goes under armor, you really don't have to do much to it on there. You have the hinge, the joint, that part all goes together. The bottom part will go to that, and just some more details that will go onto there. And just for an overview of how that goes, here we go with the bolt that goes through. Alright, so we will come back and I'm not sure what part we're going to do next, but we'll be back. Alright, for this section here, we actually have the waist unit, and on it you get the sections that are going to be for the hips. You've got this section, which will end up bolting together, and I believe, I haven't got to it, I'm not sure where it is, but there should be a rubber grommet part that goes in there, I think. They may have done this one different, because I think I saw in the instructions that it goes like that. I'm used to, on the others, there's a crappy like PC rubbery thing that never holds up in the joints. If you've done a G system kit, this is pretty much all universal, except for I haven't seen these parts before. Alright, so we'll get on to a new section. Some of these will be short, some of them will be long, but I actually can't wait to get to the armor parts. So we'll be back. Alright, so as we work our way up, we have the chest, the basic chest unit here. So what we'll end up having, and I'm not looking at the instructions, I probably should, huh? Where are they? Just so you guys can, they're all over the places where they are. So this is the chest unit itself. This section here will actually be for the arms, which I really like. That portion goes into there, and it appears to be much more stable than the old G system style. You've got this, these will pop in like so, and of course we'll get into all of that once it's cleaned up, primed, and we're ready to put it all together for the customer, which we'll be painting it. We have the neck and the unit that it attaches to. This portion here will sit up, and I can already tell I'll have to clean it out and probably make the hole a little bit bigger, but that's good, so it's nice and stable. There is somewhat of a seam line on here, but it doesn't appear, you know, a file in a couple minutes and that'll be gone. So that's it for the chest unit, and next we'll be doing the arms, and I believe that's the last part as far as the frame goes. Alright, so here we have the last of the frame. These are the arms parts, kind of off kilter, but so they're not even, but one side, the other side. Again, these are identical to the old G system style frames. Other than it looks like they've checking on the instructions and stuff, it looks like they've done away with the actually, I have a piece right here. This is kind of the old style, but they're really stiff and they don't really hold like PC do. So it looks like they've done away with it, but we'll have to see. More than likely they're using screws. Like once you get, it's going to end up being a fixed pose once you're all done. Ultimately, that's what ends up happening. So you have your lower arm, upper arm, you have your shoulder joints, and what else we got? We got the ball joint part that will go into there, which attaches to the body. You have this, which goes over. These are always funky how they end up sitting, or wanting to sit, I should say, because they don't really want to stay, and I have to clip that off before to be able to show you. And then they have this, and it's my understanding, looking at the instructions, which are, again, I don't know how I end up doing this. They always end up, like, whatever sheet I need ends up being on the bottom of the pile. So, oh yeah. So the socket joint goes into there, as you can see, goes up, and then this is meant to clip over that to hold that into place. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to end up working. I'm probably going to have to modify that because I don't really trust it, but we'll have to see when we get there. Alright, so next up we will be working on the frame parts. Those we'll be doing section by section as laid out in the instructions, such as this, because I have them in bags, you know, section 22, 23, 21. It's going to get a little confusing at the end because it takes chunks. You're going to have to use your imagination with that. Thanks for sticking around. I will be back.